Hello, friends. I am back yapping away. Um, I want to start by saying these might become far more regular than weekly because I find that I have a lot of chit chatter going on, um, and one a week ain't really like they're starting to pile up. I have a backlog of things I want to talk to y'all about, and it's like, well, why not just talk about all of them and you know? But so today, one of the things that I wanted to talk about was like the saying "ignorance is bliss," and that's a totally valid like statement. It's a real viewpoint, but you have to understand that that is the viewpoint of somebody who is at the beginning of their journey. Like, not the very beginning, like they've gotten some traction, and they're like, oh, you mean I am responsible for everything? I don't know if I wanted to. I don't know if I like that. I don't know. I don't know if I vibe with that. Then you might be thinking like, maybe life would have like my life was better when I didn't know. Ignorance is bliss. That's a statement that comes from people who've just hit that middle point. But obviously, ignorance is not bliss, because if that was true, you would have never wanted to gain any kind of enlightenment. You would have never wanted to learn about anything. Curiosity wouldn't exist. Curiosity would not exist. I don't know if I said that correctly. Um, if ignorance was bliss, like, you, people wouldn't be naturally curious. People wouldn't just ask why, not caring about the answer. They just want to know. People wouldn't just want to know stuff if ignorance was bliss. But it's been my experience in my own personal life and the lives of people that I've seen around me that a lot of people like knowing things. People just like knowing things. And so, no, ignorance is not bliss. But when it comes to the esoteric knowledge, learning about the big the big stuff, when you get to the midpoint and you're like, oh, everything is one, I am essentially at fault. Not fault, but like, if that's what you want to call it, for all of the bad things that happened in my life. I wanted all those things to happen to me. I don't know if I can jive with that. Or, if you're like, I don't know if I want to take responsibility for not necessarily the bad things, but for any of the things that feel like are outside of me. Anything that it doesn't feel like I actually did with my own body, my little meat suit. I don't know if I want to be. I don't want to claim responsibility for those things. Some people can't even claim responsibility for the things that they do in their bodies. So I'm claiming this and all of that. Ooh, I don't know, buddy. I don't know, buddy. You might be asking. You might be asking a little bit too big of an ask. Because we all know people who just cannot, like, it'll be something simple, and they'll sit there and lie about it because they just can't they just can't claim responsibility for their actions. So if a person like that was to learn that they are responsible for everything, whether they like it or not, there is nothing that they can do about it. Yeah, they're gonna wish they never heard that, because how are they gonna process that information? But the good news is, if you keep going, you get past that little middle step, that little hump, you then come to the understanding that, like, the I that is responsible for everything is not your ego. It's not your ego. Your ego is not the great I am. your ego is your avatar. It's what you get to come down here and play around in. You know, it's the eyes expression of whatever you want it to be. Whatever you choose to be in that moment. That's the only thing. Like, that's all that you as an individual are responsible for. And once you get past the, oh wait, I'm responsible for everything, and kind of like accept that, incorporate that, you know, let it sink in, meditate on that, take some deep breaths about it. Think about what it really means. Ask yourself, who is I? Because I'm responsible for everything, but who is this I that I'm talking about? Because when you start meditating, you start thinking, and you start breathing, you start realizing that words have a lot of meanings. We know that. Because if you say somebody's bad, that can mean a lot of things, depending on the context surrounding the rest of the word. You know? If you get what I'm saying. There are lots of words that have double meanings. That's one of the reasons why the English language is so hard to learn, first off. And then we take it a step further, and we got the Urban Dictionary as well, and we just use words however we see fit. Which, I mean, that's what words are for. Like, you, what comes out is what's supposed to come out. You know, that's how I feel about it. It's as long as you get the vibe right, people will usually understand what you're saying, even if the words aren't all the way there. But that's not the point. The point that I was making is that. Oh, dang, I forgot the point that I was making. Hold on. Words have a lot of meanings. Wow. I might have to like pause, go rewind and watch and see what I was literally just talking about. Words have a lot of meanings. Right, I. Whew. Okay, I. The word I has a lot of meanings, and while we fling it around willy nilly, first of all, if you don't write it down and you just say I, you could be talking about capital I, you could be talking about lowercase I, you could be talking about EIY, as in your eyeball. But when you just say I am responsible for everything, it can sound a bit overwhelming, especially if taking responsibility for things isn't your go-to, or especially if you have had like some low down, like ridiculous times in your life. You might be like, meh, I don't like that. I don't like that. But the eyes that you're using in those two scenarios they're not the same. And the more that you learn, the further that you dive in, you know, commit to the process, and you don't just give up because it got a little difficult, it got a little scary, it got a little uncomfortable. But let me ask you this: was your life before you started this journey comfortable? I mean, you wouldn't have started this journey if the life you had beforehand was like just ace and had no problems in it. There was some discomfort somewhere. There was something that was scaring you somewhere. There, like, you don't start looking for yourself if you're not running from something. You know, like, not running, because like that sounds so dramatic. But like, if there's not something that you're dissatisfied with going on, you would have no reason to change anything about yourself. You would have no reason to seek knowledge about other things if you felt no dissatisfaction. And it's hilarious because the universe is a funny little minx. I remember when I took the ACT, SAT, one of those standardized tests, the question for the written part, like the essay part, was something along the lines of, do you think being content is like a good thing or a bad thing? And I answered in the negative. Obviously being content isn't a bad thing, and I wish that I could go back and give the answer now because I would have like real words to use. Like in my essay I quoted The Lion King, and I think they took points off for that, like literally because I quoted Lion King. I think that they were like dot dot dot. No. But that's aside the point. Haters gonna hate. But being content is like the exact opposite reason for existing on this earthly plane. Because if the great I am was content, none of us would exist. None of us would be here. There would be no earth, there would be no sun, there would be no moons, there'd be none of this if the great I am was just content with being I, being the singular I. Because if I chose to stay just one I, we would all be part of that little conglomerate. We would all be that one singular drop. Well, we would all be that one singular ocean. We, instead of being drops of the ocean, you know? So thank the heavens that I am not content. You know, we come here to, like, this is my deepest belief. You can believe whatever you want, but I believe that we come here to learn. We come here to learn. That is it. That is it. And what you're learning, that's up to you. Whether you're learning skills, whether you're learning heartache, whether you're learning, maps, or science and cartography, or if you're learning psychology or astrology, more ephemeral things. If you came here to learn about all of the stages of poverty, you came here to learn about money, or you came here to learn about these random little concepts. You came here to learn about plastic, you came here to learn about rocks. You can come here to learn about anything, but you are here to learn. This is school. This is a university. There is a reason why words sound so much alike. Like, I know I was just saying, like, oh, words have a lot of meanings, but words do have meanings. And like, when words seemingly are like kind of separate, but they look basically the same, that's probably for a reason. That's probably for a reason. The universe is literally just a university. We are here to enroll in classes, take some extracurriculars, pick up a sport or two, and that's it. You can choose what you major in. Like, I went to a school, we didn't have prereqs. The college that I graduated from, we did not have prerequisites. You could come into that bad boy and take whatever class you wanted freshman year. The only caveat was that everybody had to take a freshman seminar, but there were like 42 of those and only like 400 students, so but there were options. You didn't have, like, nobody was forced to take math classes. If math wasn't your thing, why am I gonna force you to spend thousands of dollars like taking math when you know that you don't like math? Or if you know that you're a genius at math, why am I gonna force you to come in and take beginner's math? Everybody has to take it. I don't care if you broke the scale on the standardized testing and you've taught your teachers things on mathematics and you actually wrote a study on it already. Everybody has to take this course. That's so ignorant. No. Like, my school and the school, the big school, you can take whatever classes you want to take. You can learn whatever you want to learn. Some lessons come easier, and some you it's gonna take more than one lifetime to learn them. You know, but you get to explore all of this. Like, you get to explore that knowledge. You get to have fun with it only after you get past ignorance is bliss. Once you have moved past, like, once you experience that, and then you come out of it and you're like, no, I would much rather no. There's no way that if you can move past that and you don't get stuck in like, dang, I think I learned too much. Ain't no such thing. There is no such thing as learning too much. Well, let's just be clear on that. But like, you are here to learn, and you're here to play. You should enjoy the learning process. And what you enjoy is up to you, because some people enjoy being miserable, even if they won't admit it. That's part of the miserable game, is to be like, I long to be happy, knowing damn well that you be getting your groove on in the melancholy. You love, sitting in your window in a gray hoodie on a rainy day and thinking about everybody that's ever done you wrong. Some people really like that. And I'm speaking from experience. I have loved melancholy. It's a dramatic thing to be in, and it is a little seductive sometimes. But once you come over the hump and you realize that you are just deciding to be melancholy right then and there, and because you're deciding that you like drama, you're attracting drama, you won't be surprised when drama enters your life, and you'll understand why it has entered. You are responsible for that drama, but you'll appreciate that drama because you know that that's what you wanted. You know that that's what you asked for, because that's what you got. And you know that as soon as you no longer want that drama, you can switch whatever game you're playing. You can play the happy game. But if you get stuck in the, oh, I'd rather be ignorant game, and you're just going to refuse to accept the responsibility and enjoy playing around with it, I really don't know what your life is going to look like, because that didn't happen to me. I can't give you any advice except move on. Grow up. Okay, you're responsible. Okay. Is that such a big deal? If anything, that would make me so happy, because that has made me so happy, because it's like, that means when I want smiley, happy energy, I just have to give smiley, happy energy. That's simple. And so then I know that when I'm feeling down, that if I don't want to continue to feel down, I'll just rest. I allow myself to not engage in that emotion. I'm like, oh, wait a second. Maybe I'm not sad. Maybe I'm just bored. Maybe I'm not sad. Maybe I just need like a snack. I can zoom out and be like, before we start living that life again, is that really what I want right now? No, I don't think so. So let's not be sad. Like, let's decide to be something else. I got a whole video on, I'm pointing like I'm gonna edit it. We're doing this on 2 phones. But I have a video about using the misattribution of arousals to your advantage, and eventually you can extrapolate that, you know, and instead of just being like, oh, well, instead of accepting that I'm nervous, I'll accept that I'm excited, you can just accept neither. That's an option too. You can call something else entirely to you. You can be neutral. And honestly, being neutral is kind of the way to go if you just want a steady beat. Because every time you swing up, you have to swing back down. Just as high and as far. And just like every time you swing down, you gotta swing back up. And the oscillations, they might speed up, they might slow down. But just know, for every high, there will be a low. But bright side, that means for every low, that there is gonna be a high. So if you think that your life has just been booty butt cheeks to the wind and you just been getting it, good news. Good news. When it turns around, oh, bookie, it's going to turn around. It's going to turn around. And that's law. That's law. That's how things are. But the first step is your ego's responsibility, and you gotta choose to accept knowledge and wisdom and keep going, even when it seems a little scary or whatever it might seem. And like, I think I might have mentioned, but I'm gonna do a whole video on fear, because fear is the only enemy that exists. And once you conquer that bad boy, like, to say that there's nothing to be afraid of would, like, duh, if you conquered fear, then of course there's nothing to be afraid of. But it's like, we don't get into that a whole nother time, because I'm realizing this video is already it's already getting a little long. It's getting a little lengthy, and I'm gonna feel myself just onto a different topic. So I'm gonna stop this video and I'm gonna start another one because I might just do the fear one right now. We'll see, because I also do need to eat something. But anyways, I love you. Remember to have fun, stay safe, stay hydrated. Those are 3 rules. My 3 rules. You, like I said, do whatever you want to do. Those are my 3 rules to living a good life. I love you. Peace.